I begged her not to do it. We threw her into a wall 2 or 3 times, and then and she did it, and she's willing to do it. She'll do it again.
Wow.
But I said, no more. Let's throw the stunt person.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Daredevil Director Debrief on the channel. BD here, and this is episode 7. Woo! We're already 7 episodes through Daredevil Born Again. My goodness. And if you're enjoying these episodes, I want to thank you for listening to them. I also want to thank all of our guests so far on this. Michael Quest, Jeffrey McNamoff. I hope I said that right. We've got David Boyd from last week's episode, and this is episode 7. This man has done so many awesome titles. The Walking Dead, Deadwood, Friday Night Lights, some of the things we talked about last week. This week, we're going straight into Daredevil episode 7. This episode ends with so much momentum. We're going to talk about all that. But if you haven't watched Daredevil episode 7, this is your spoiler warning. Watch episode 7 and come back to the show, because right now I'm welcoming back Mr. David Boyd.
Number 7.
I can't believe this show is flying by. We need to slow it down. We're going too quickly. Dude, welcome back. Thank you for hanging with me. Last week was so much fun. This week, and we talked last week about how Fisk's relationship is getting strengthened by him leaning into Kingpin. This week, I want to talk about how Matt's relationship is deteriorating as he's leaning into being Daredevil. Yeah. What are you doing to my boy?
Think about that, right? Heavy, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is real stuff. This is why the show is so good, in my opinion. It's grounded. It's real. You might be in a plane going down a runway, but you're not going to lift off. It's just going to keep going that speed the whole time. It's so on the ground. It's wonderful.
How did you guys, I mean, everything from Matt's life, whether it's Heather, Kirsten, Cherry, everybody's starting to get mad at Matt because they're picking up that he's not himself. He's lying. They're not believing the big old bruise on his body is from walking into a door or anything anymore. No. What are you trying to tell us about Matt's life as he tries to balance Matt Murdock with Daredevil?
Isn't life complicated? Holy smokes, right? It gets heavier and heavier. It's a weight, right? It's real. It's real life. That's what I think it is. And the actor, Charlie welcomes all of it. That guy's got a bunch in the tank. He'll bring it. He loves when that's all going. 5, 6, 7 things he's got to feel. It's really, really, really good for him.
Mm-hmm. This episode, Cherry is top of the list at wanting to get some space from Matt at this point because he knows. Yeah. He's one of the people who knows what's going on. Yeah. And Matt responds to that by saying, well, you used to call me when you needed something. And I feel like Matt's getting a little cocky as he embraces that side. Am I reading that right?
No, absolutely. It's the other side, right? He's feeling that, right? It's tugging on him. And he wants to go, right? I think he wants to go. It's the last little threads are holding him in place.
Yeah. Well, last week, I think was the first, we saw the one bit on the rooftop where he started doing like a training thing, but last week was the first time he suited up as Daredevil since the pilot and actually went into action.
Yes.
How does Charlie's performance change as the character is embracing that side?
The actor loves it, right? And I think the audience is just crying for it, right? So he can't wait, really, actor-wise. Character-wise, I think he's conflicted, always has been, right? And he feels all of that. We feel all of it as he does it. When we shot that thing when he suits up, right? I wanted to make it mysterious, right? These little parts that are so familiar to people, batons, shelf thing, I wanted to make it quick. I wanted to make it meaningful, not thought through properly, maybe, right? And there he goes. He launches off down into the city, right? Yeah. To do whatever he's doing. It's fantastic.
It's good stuff. And listen, the standout of this episode is we got an excellent villain story, and it's dark, man. The Muse stuff comes to a head in Heather's office. First of all, Heather seems like the centerpiece of like everything, whether she wants to be or not. You got Wilson and Vanessa coming in, you got Matt dating her, and now Muse is just obsessed with her, and he's going crazy in her office, and that all explodes in a way. Daredevil has to be Daredevil during the day. Wilson is not thrilled about how this all goes down. The task force. Let's talk about Muse for a minute. How dark were you able to go with this? Because that character is rough, and this episode gets pretty violent. Did you just have free reign to go as violent, as bloody, as vicious as you wanted to go here?
Yeah, really did. And I thought the thing to do is to go, right? If we're
Yeah.
going to do it, let's go as far as we're able, willing, and all that. Hunter, I didn't know him beforehand. What a cool cat and what a great actor, and he's willing, right? That guy's willing to go. He wants to go. So we just keyed into that. Cinematographer Hilary Fife Sparrow, she's there right with it, right? And we just figured out a good way to. I think we were 3 days in that place, right? All in. Margarita, who plays Heather, fantastic,
She's great.
right? She's great. So we just put that thing together so it could do all the stunts in it, so we could pull a wall if we needed to. But I hate pulling walls; can't stand pulling walls, and throwing people through windows, right, which we had to do. And our key grip, Brendan Malone, again rigged up a camera so we could pull out of it straight up in the aftermath with Hunter Muse on the ground, right, dead. But it was all cabled up to another dolly outside the set that he would just push down a track and it would draw the camera up.
So to capture that last shot of Muse dead in his own, crime scene, do you have is that a set with no roof? Or are you just going as high as you can? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
I also curious.
I didn't have anything to do with designing that. I think Hillary had an idea. I said maybe we get overhead somehow, right? And I left it. And then Brendan, of course, just makes the thing work, and it's repeatable, and you could do it all day long. It's just the best.
It's that Walter White goodbye right there. There it is.
That's it.
Nicely done. You're a great team you got working with you, man. Shooting Daredevil, most of the time we see Daredevil suited up in action, it's at night.
Yeah.
This is broad daylight. He's wearing the suit. When you're shooting, because you've now shot Daredevil fighting in Muse's lair, that's pretty dark down there. You've had him on a rooftop. This is broad daylight. He comes swinging through and he helps save Heather. How does the intention as a director change? How does the creativity as a director change when you're shooting him inside? Is anything different, or is it, hey, we just got different lighting now?
Daylight scares me a little bit because it shows a little too much, right? You want to be able to control what people see and can't see, and play with that, right? I can't quite see it, right? They got to lean in, but so I just dance around that on the periphery, right? Don't show too much, cut out before anybody gets a key on it, and play it out. It's good.
Yeah. Dude. And then that means that scene culminates now with Heather, both physically hurt, but also I think emotionally messed up by the fact that this all went down. Can you talk about what Margarita brought there and what you were trying to capture in that moment where we see that she shot him?
She wants to do her stunts. She wants to do her stunts.
Really? Margarita's all in.
I had to say, please, I'm begging you, right? You can get hurt, right? People are going to throw you into walls and stuff like that. I'm not, I've done other things and I've seen terrible things happen. So I begged her not to do it. We threw her into a wall 2 or 3 times and then and she did it, and she's willing to do it. She'll do it again. Wow. But I said, no more. Let's throw the stunt person into the wall from now on. We can't do that all day.
Wow. Yeah. Because hey, we love you. We don't want you to get hurt. And also if something happens,
we're down.
Suddenly Heather Glenn is written out of the show for a couple of weeks.
That's right. That girl brings it though. She wants to bring it. She's real thing.
I appreciate that. I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome. That sets the tone on set, I bet too.
Sure does.
That's cool. One thing I really love was the ending here where Luca is sent by Vanessa to where Fisk is having dinner. First of all, we don't see if Vanessa and Wilson conspired on this.
Right.
I'm reading it as they might have worked together to make this happen. Is that how? You have any insights you could say, or did Vanessa actually want Wilson dead?
I love that we don't know. I love that we don't, and we don't want to say it. I don't think we want to intimate it somehow, right? But let's leave that not known for a while. Let Dario writer, let him, let everybody sink that in. But what a cool thing that is. We shot it at a place called Balmonte's. It's like in Brooklyn somewhere, right? I don't know. Right. It's near an overhang, and I figured a way. We could see this hapless Luca come. Right, we could poke out the front window of the bar and see him come up a sidewalk, right? And the coast looks kind of clear. And we take him all the way in the front door. We see him come around the corner, and we follow him in, right? And sure enough, there's Fisk. We know that we call him Liz. We know that that's him, right? It looked clear, right? But look what happens. It's fun.
I love the moment where Buck pops out from the shadow.
Yeah, the best.
Love how you shot that. Love how it's a good surprise. Hats off, man.
And Artie, actor Artie Prushan is phenomenal too. He's capable of doing big things with this story as time goes on. So he's untapped.
That's
he's awesome. Yeah.
This felt very Goodfellas, Godfather-y in that scene. Was there anything you used as particular inspiration for that moment?
No, the thought of that image looking from behind Fisk, right? Just the shoulders, very broad shoulders, the head. That image is what drove me to it. That's the destination, right? The closer you get to it, the more dangerous it is, right? Dude. And that kind of drove it.
Yeah, I popped that moment. I thought it was good stuff, man. And I'll wrap it up with this. So you have directed now. There's 2 episodes left. You have put Fisk and Matt on very interesting journeys and very like we talked about. There's a sort of a mirror going on, and they're both battling with leaning into what Fisk has referred to as the darker half. Where do you think they stand at this point with all this momentum going into the last 2 episodes of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again?
My theory is that the new pilot, has headed us right to this precipice, right? And the next 2 are going to be smashing. That's what I think. And I think the reason they did the pilot again, I think, is for that. That's what gets us there. So really, we bridged it from beginning to end, I think, here, and left it off to a phenomenal ending.
Oh man, I can't wait for everybody to see this and talk about it and have a good time. Will you be back for season 2?
If they call, I'll come running. I love the
Let's
place.
go.
Love
Get to New York, baby. Get out there.
Let's go.
All right, David. Thank you so much for hanging with me again. This is an absolute blast. I could chop it up with you all day, man, because I'm
all day.
If you ever need somebody to kill off one of your projects, I'm a great stunt man. I'll just take one. Come on, let me know.
Appreciate that. Let's go.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and we have 2 more episodes, which means 2 more interviews, and we'll see you there. Big thanks to David for joining us, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Let's go get him.